Look at it. He's nothing given. You've never seen 50 give nobody no flowers, no respect. He just play on people downfall. Diddy, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule. Yeah. Now Big Meech. You've never seen 50 say nothing positive.
G-Unit Film Studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long?
The ongoing drama between 50 Cent and Big Meech has just taken a wild new turn. Big Meech openly called out 50, claiming he's going broke because of their feud. And this isn't just talk. Rick Ross jumped in, spilling major tea, saying 50 has been struggling to fund his new G-Unit studio. Word on the street is that he can't even secure a loan because his credit is reportedly trashed.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up.
Ross took it a step further, even threatening to snatch up 50E's masters if he didn't back down, claiming he's clearly desperate for cash. That's a bold move, but let's be real, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. Do you really think he's going to sit back while Ross and Meech take shots at him? Not a chance. 50 fired back hard, threatening to drop some brutal receipts, real proof of who's actually struggling financially. But fans started asking the real question, is 50 really losing his billionaire status, or is Rick Ross just stirring things up to get under his skin?
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe, nigga. Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all niggas to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Now here's the twist word is Big Meech and Rick Ross might actually have the upper hand this time. People are claiming that 50 Cent is struggling to even keep the lights on at his studio, while Meech and Ross are out here celebrating like they're the reason his money dried up. They've been clowning him, saying that once he's tapped out, he'll come crawling back looking for a lifeline. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Are Meech and Ross living in a fantasy world? Because last time we checked, 50 Cent was still sitting on billionaire status, and real billionaires don't go broke over a feud, especially not one about who snitched and who didn't.
1,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started hurting. The lock say Eliante on it, you know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side. So ain't no regular Cuban, you know. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. This some shit like you gotta give my daddy, like when he come home, like I keep this forever. Like.
If you've been keeping up with this heated feud between 50 Cent and Big Meech, then you already know Rick Ross is right in the middle of it. This whole mess started when Big Meech teamed up with Rick Ross for a massive welcome home concert, a move that was supposed to bring in major cash for both of them. But at the last minute, the concert was canceled with no clear reason given. Immediately, people started pointing fingers at 50 Cent. The streets were buzzing with speculation that 50 didn't want Big Meech making money with his longtime rival, Rick Ross. Of course, 50 tried to shut down the rumors, claiming he had nothing to do with it, but fans weren't convinced. Rick Ross didn't hold back either. He went straight for 50E's neck, calling him out and telling him to stop crying about Meech making moves without him. And let's be honest, 50 never liked the idea of Big Meech and Rick Ross working together. He made that crystal clear, throwing heavy shade at Meech and even calling him a rat. To 50, Rick Ross will always be Officer Ricky, and anyone associating with him is automatically untrustworthy. But here's where things get really messy. Turns out, 50 Cent actually had receipts documents that supposedly proved Big Meech cooperated with authorities to get out of prison early. And then 50 dropped a bombshell that had everyone shook. He wasn't just talking, he was working on a full-blown expose. He announced a tell-all documentary about Tammy CLOWNS, the woman who allegedly holds all the secrets that could shatter Big Meech's public image. This documentary was set to reveal exactly who, when, and how Meech allegedly snitched, no holding back. And for those who don't know, Tammy wasn't just some random associate. She was extremely close to Big Meech, and some say their relationship went even deeper. She also owns the life rights to Meech's story, meaning she's the only one legally allowed to produce movies, books, or shows about his life. That's a game changer.
Tammy Collins, she's privileged to what's called the affidavits in support of the wiretaps.
Okay.
It's like 3 affidavits. In those affidavits, it tells Meech's full role. Now, I wouldn't allow to have them because they played this, I'm this kingpin and I'm this killer and they life in jeopardy.
Right.
In danger.
Right.
That's why they was able to close the courtroom. We'd have been out at Meech. But they played a cold game. I give it to her and they was playing chess and we was playing checkers.
Okay.
She used the threat of her life and that I was gonna have some hitmen in the federal courtroom to kill her. And they closed the courtroom to the me and my shit standing room only. I'm that dude in that city, homie.
Right.
I'm that dude in that city.
Right.
So that's why they ain't been came out. But the affidavits in support of the wiretap, she has them.
Okay, so she can get them for sure.
If she got them.
Okay.
She got them. The only person they barred from having the document was me.
Okay. Okay, so you the only one that don't got the information.
Right.
Gotcha.
Everybody else, it's called discovery. Everybody else got the packet.
Okay.
I wasn't going to address this because I'm not trying to let nobody treat me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the time, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family to come out to the Amarant Arena, February 13th.
According to 50, Meech made a huge mistake by letting his relationship with Tammy fall apart. Now, she's out here spilling everything, not holding back on a single detail. While she was preparing to reveal the real story, Rick Ross and Big Meech were out here flexing their money moves, laughing at 50 every step of the way. Ross even claimed he was about to drop his own BM movie in Cash and Big just after 50 announced he was shutting down the BM series, allegedly because Meech and his son, Little Meech, were making shady moves behind the scenes.
I do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. It's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it. I'm just talking.
Here's where things take a surprising twist. Tammy Collins, the woman who owns the rights to Big Meech's life story, was actually working with 50 Cent when the BM series was first created. The show was a massive hit, no doubt, but when Meech aligned himself with Rick Ross, 50 retaliated by pulling the plug on the entire project. But the real shock, Little Meech, who was portraying his own father in the series, got caught in the crossfire. He was trying to keep the project alive while his father's feud with 50 Cent completely derailed everything. And here's where things get even messier. 50 was the one financially backing Little Meech, reportedly paying him over $5 million for the show. However, rather than saving or investing, Little Meech allegedly spent every dime on luxury cars, iced out chains, and designer outfits, all while his father remained behind bars with little financial support. You'd think he would have put something aside to help his dad when he got out, but instead, he lived as if the money would never stop flowing.
Got me before I even knew I could even act. I sat by him, and the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answer the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad.
He looked like his daddy, like spitting his hair down like his daddy. The same thing, like it was like, yo, got him from Atlanta to California and was able to get him with the coaches. And I believe you.
Don't be walking around with this shit by yourself.
I'm walking around with you. I'm only walking around with you with that motherfucker on. If I ain't with you, I don't want it.
This shit come with the Draco, man. This shit come with the Draco. Come with the Draco. Still, this shit come with the Draco.
Yeah. Think about it, though, Fire. How I feel.
This shit feel good. Wait, get the straps.
Even Tony Yale stepped in, criticizing Little Meech for not managing his finances wisely, pointing out that he should have saved for tougher times. Then, when 50 Cent started publicly calling out Big Meech, Little Meech tried to de-escalate the situation. By messaging 50 directly, he defended his actions, saying his partnership with Rick Ross wasn't about loyalty, it was about survival. According to him, Big Meech was in desperate need of money to cover expenses while waiting for the next BM check to clear. In his message to 50, Little Meech expressed frustration, saying, "I can't believe this, man. You're acting like I'm your enemy. I've only ever shown you love and loyalty. I'm human, I go through my own struggles, but I've never turned on you. Forget Ross. He just helped my dad pay the bills until our next season drops. This internet drama is twisting everything."
Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you wanna make your mama one of them walking stars thing. Put down there. How your mama live. Make her own walking star. Let me get one of them Bel Air bottles to hold up on these. Man, you heard what I just said? Them skin bad, man. You see that auntie murder? They never killed nothing. But that nigga need a facial so bad. When I be seeing them black heads on them niggas, damn nigga doing bad. And 50, stop. You left your last hole because of something they said had to do with me. Don't leave Tony Yayo that. Come on, don't leave Louisiana. Don't quit like that, because you showed the picture of how you wanted it to look. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans, and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G-Unit studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. Po nigga, you po hustler.
Little Meech even reminded 50 that they had a real-life relationship beyond the internet, but 50 wasn't interested in hearing excuses. Instead, he took things up a notch, posting a screenshot of Little Meech's message along with a sharp response, "What next season?" implying that the BM series was officially over. Then came the real bombshell. 50 announced he was partnering with CLOWNS to produce a no-holds-barred documentary about Big Meech. This wasn't just another project, it was designed to reveal everything about Meech, whom 50 mockingly started calling Big Screech. The move left both Big Meech and Little Meech in a tough spot. Without those BM checks, their financial situation became uncertain. Lil Meech had already spent his fortune recklessly, and as for Big Meech, after serving years behind bars for drug trafficking, finding a legitimate source of income wouldn't be easy. If they wanted to maintain their lavish lifestyle, Little Meech would need to either revive his acting career or somehow break into the music industry. But after crossing 50 Cent, it seemed like those doors might be permanently shut. That's when Rick Ross decided to step in, claiming he produced his own version of the BM story, one that he promised would be even bigger and better than 50 Cent's. However, there was one major problem. 50 Cent actually owns the rights to the BM brand. According to TMZ, Ross wouldn't be able to move forward without 50's approval. And let's be honest, 50 giving Ross the green light, that's never happening. But just when it seemed like the situation couldn't escalate any further, things took an even wilder turn. As soon as it became clear that 50 Cent was done financially supporting Big Meech's family, their loyalty appeared to shift. Lil Meech and Big Meech started openly associating with 50's biggest rivals. Suddenly, Little Meech was spotted in clubs alongside Rick Ross, posing for pictures that seemed intentionally designed to get under 50's skin. And then, they took it even further. Big Meech and his son linked up with none other than Floyd Mayweather, a longtime enemy of 50 Cent. Lil Meech even posted a photo of himself with Mayweather, captioning it "Real Power" in what many saw as a direct jab at 50's hit TV series, Power. And if that wasn't enough, he followed up with another photo, this time with the classic shush emoji, hinting that something big was brewing. Behind the scenes, it was beginning to seem like Little Meech had completely switched sides, fully backing his father while turning against the very man who gave him his first major break. The wild part, just weeks before, this same guy was in 50's DMs saying F Ross and pledging loyalty like a soldier. Now, he's doing the complete opposite. This is what happens when too many voices start whispering in your ear. One moment, you're cool with someone, the next, you're siding with their biggest rival. It's like Little Meech and his father completely forgot how 50 had their back when no one else did. Even Boozy spoke up, criticizing how soft Little Meech sounded in that message to 50. If it were him, he said he would have made his loyalty to family crystal clear, no hesitation. But 50 Cent wasn't about to stay silent. When he finally responded, he didn't hold back. He broke down exactly why seeing Big Meech and Little Meech with his enemies felt like a betrayal. "I did more for Meech than anyone in his life," 50 explained. "That's why Boozy reacted the way he did. Every time Meech got locked up, I was the first one he called. I bailed him out every time." But then, seeing Little Meech laughing at his father's post, that's when he realized he couldn't trust him either. 50 didn't stop there. He detailed how he had practically been a father figure to Little Meech while Big Meech was behind bars. He covered the cost of acting school, helped him get clean, and ensured he had money so he wouldn't get caught up in illegal activity. But things shifted once Big Meech got out. According to 50, that's when bad influences started getting in Little Meech's ear. While 50 was trying to teach him financial responsibility and discipline, Big Meech was encouraging him to flex, spend recklessly, and live without limits. "I thought about it," 50 said, "and I think Big Meech just didn't like the bond me and Meech had." While 50 advised him to stay away from drugs, Big Meech was making it seem acceptable. While 50 told him to stop wasting money, Big Meech was bragging about how much he spent. What people don't realize, 50 added, is that he had to send Little Meech to rehab. Then, he dropped another bombshell according to Russell Hornsby, who worked on the BM show. Little Meech showed up high on set and even threw up during a weapons test. But that wasn't all. Ian later told 50 about the final straw. Little Meech had whippets in his truck. 50 was confused. What the hell is whippets? Turns out, it's that gas used in BB guns that people inhale to get high. The fact that after everything 50 did for him, Little Meech still turned on him and publicly at that felt like a straight up betrayal. But if you think this situation is cooling down anytime soon, think again. Rick Ross is still out here throwing shots, recently clowning 50 and claiming he's too broke to build his new G-Unit studio. According to Ross, 50's credit is ruined and no bank will work with him. In another video, Ross even suggested he might buy 50's masters just to throw some change in his pocket. Cold move. Word is 50 saw all of this and snapped, saying he was ready to drop receipts to prove who's really broke. But as for the idea that this feud is somehow damaging 50's career, he's not buying it. Let's be real, how much influence does Big Meech even have in 2025? Sure, he was a big name back in the day, but times have changed. The economy is rough, Diddy's behind bars, and people are just trying to get by. Nobody has time to idolize a former street legend in the age of social media. Maybe 50 was onto something when he called Big Meech a wannabe Pablo Escobar. The idea that he could shake 50's financial empire? That's laughable. Let's not forget 50 has gone head-to-head with much bigger names than Meech or Ross and walked away untouched. Still, you already know 50 is going to turn this whole situation into viral gold because that's what he does best. Now, let me ask you, do you really think 50 Cent is going broke? Could this beef actually be affecting his money, or is Rick Ross just projecting his own struggles onto 50? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unfiltered celebrity drama, untold beef, and behind-the-scenes revelations. Hit that button and I'll catch you in the next one.